I'm thankful for my squad. I'm thankful for the blessings that's been handed out by God. I'm thankful for it all, so now it's time to eat. Let's give thanks to all we got in life, and that's in G-O-D. I'm thankful for my fam. I'm thankful for my squad. I'm thankful for the blessings that's been handed out by God. I'm thankful for it all, so now it's time to eat. Let's give thanks to all we got in life, and that's in G-O-D.
First thing first, man, I'm thankful to all of my fam. I say thank you for showing up for me.
What is going on, y'all? Hey, we here with another wonderful episode of the Always Climbing podcast. Something that I always have a pretty good grasp on saying when I lead the meetings. But y'all, man, he always saying Always Climbing Project. Man, it's the podcast, Joe. But nonetheless, what's going on, y'all? Another episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Just show love, because we would do the same. But before we even get into the discussion of self-care, I want to talk about two different things. I want to talk about the climber of the week, and then divorce. I want to talk to him about something. I want to mess with him a little bit, but that's it. So go ahead, Jovan. Who's the climber of the week?
Yeah, our climber of the week this week is Devon Elias. As the season winding down, football season, he just collaborated with Weiss Food Market and a couple other places, and came out with a cookbook. So as we wind down and start picking up these tailgates, check out the cookbook that he got. We'll add the link in the video, and give him some love. It's a free ebook. All his recipes, made himself, that he goes by and eats. Good dude. Show him some love.
Cookbook.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I need that. I'm a foodie.
Yeah. Divorce is definitely foodie.
This is good too.
Divorce the type to go out on in 2 degrees and throw on the smoker.
He's a big detox, so he know what he's doing.
It's snowing today, man. I still went to the store. I made sure.
See? That's what I wanted to mess with Divorce about. Divorce, you can't run away from the snow, man. You was in Bahrain in the heat. I honestly didn't know it snowed. So for those that don't know, Divorce was our climber of the week twice this season, for his accomplishments in the Navy. But he's no longer in the heat. He's now in Japan, which I didn't even know snowed, bro. I had no idea it snowed in Japan, bro. I really didn't. I didn't think it was hot, but I don't know. I never thought it snowed.
It get hot now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what's crazy is that. So I posted that. I posted a picture of it snowing, and you're not the only person to say that. There's a lot of people that hit me up and said they didn't know it actually snowed in Japan. So I'm at this Japan. I'm all the way at the top in the north. Yeah. I didn't think it snowed like that either. But apparently, I'm in the snowiest city in the world. So in the world. Y'all know I hate snow.
I seen that, bro. That was funny. I seen
in the world. That. That's crazy.
No, and I think it's some of it for me is just being American. Man, we just so selfish, man. It's so much we don't know about other countries, man. I feel like that's something we should know. It snows. First of all, it snows in Japan, but secondly, to know we experience snow so much, to not know that city in Japan is the snowiest in the entire world, man. We just so selfish as Americans sometimes. Same thing like Bailey, my old teammate, Australian teammate, he had brought that to my attention with a lot of things. Like everything is focused on Americans, but just about every other country is very locked in and in tune with the rest of the world, except for Americans. So just a little food for thought.
That's true. They actually do. I found out they do the X game. They sometimes, I think they used to host the X Games here too, for the snowboarding and stuff. I don't do any of that, but
I feel like that would make sense. The snowiest.
Yeah, right. I thought it was.
They snowboarding down Fiji or Fuji, whatever one it is.
It don't snow down there, but
man, forget that. Imagine that. That's a death sentence.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, going down Mount Fuji is crazy though. Like it hurts to go down Mount Fuji because your knees, like people like us, man, our knees be hurting. It hurts to go down Mount Fuji after you climb it. It probably hurts more than actually going up, to be honest.
How can we turn that into a lesson? How could we turn that into an AC lesson?
I know, man.
'Cause we always talk about
climbing.
We always talk about climbing up, man. We always climbing, but what about that? Hey, man, I don't even know how to. Man, we're gonna have to think about it, man. I might have to ask ChatGPT how we can. Oh, that could be something, man. That could be a bar for real.
Trip out here, right?
You said choose your pain.
Just to climb Fuji.
That could be a freaking lesson, man. I don't even know the lesson it could teach you, but it's easier to climb to the top. But that downfall, I don't know, man. Hold on, stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned because he just turned me up. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into the self-care discussion.
It takes to climb Mount Fuji.
Man, 2 seconds divided by 2. One jump. He'll do it with a backpack. Him versus Goggins. I got Bates. No, I'm just playing. Self-care, man. Self-care. First of all, man, I just want to ask y'all, how do y'all interpret self-care? You know, there's obviously a definition, but from my, mental health background, I think everybody has a personal definition of self-care. I'm not talking about Merriam-Webster. I'm not talking about the dictionary. I'm talking about your own personal interpretation of what self-care means to you. So what's your definition of self-care?
Yeah, for me, it's anything. Oh, you want to go first?
No, go ahead, Jovan.
Yeah, for me, it's anything like that you do or practice that will allow you to flush yourself and basically reset to that balanced state that you need to be in versus being too happy or too sad. Especially when the times of like the minutia of the daily work gets so repetitive, things can kind of seem boring or seem exhausting. Just having something that's going to bring you back to where you need to be healthy for the people around you and what you need to accomplish on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Right. I definitely agree with Joe. Definitely, like, self-care is just about getting back to your own baseline, so that you can be, the best version of yourself for whoever, right? We all pour into other people. You know what I mean? Like, as humans, we pour into other people, but you can't do that when you're not caring about yourself or getting at a baseline that you're comfortable with for yourself to, make yourself happy. So it's just creating that baseline for yourself. Like Joe said, finding what brings you from up here to down here, and calm yourself or, just reset pretty much.
Yep. Both great definitions. For me, I just define it as doing what's wanted when it is needed. That's what I'll always say to myself. What I do, what's wanted when it's needed, not what's needed when it's needed. Because what's needed when it's needed is our day to day. We need to go to work, right? We need to take care of our family. We need to cut the grass, right? That's not self-care. Doing what you want to do when it's needed is self-care. I need a break, so let me go do what I want. And whatever that is, sometimes it's video games, sometimes it changes, right? And we'll get into that as well. But I think self-care is very fluid. For some people, it's a routine. Sometimes that is self-care for them. But for me, like I said, my own interpretation is very fluid. Self-care for me is way different depending on the day, because I do what I want when it's needed. So that's my definition.
That's a good. I never thought of it like that. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. We do it, but you put it into like a good sentence.
Yeah. I attribute that to, I guess, my job, but just trying to find different ways to communicate that to not only students but staff as well. So that's what I tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's up, man. A lot of people, man, when they think about self-care, especially maybe even in deeper circumstances than the lives we live, maybe. But a lot of people think self-care is selfish. A lot of people think, depending on the circumstance, how come you aren't doing this and that? Like, you should be more focused on this. Like, what's going on with that? Like, you being selfish. What is the difference to you guys, or how would you compare self-care to selfish? If you have any comments towards that.
I think to take care of yourself, you should be selfish. I don't think it's really like when for a lot of people, they're not selfish enough. Some people are, some people aren't. Like some of the kindest and most giving people are the ones that run themselves down trying to please others.
Mhm.
And for me, I got to a point where probably this year really where I just don't care as far as like if I'm being selfish or not, as long as I'm being the person I need to be for others at the same time.
Mhm.
So if I can't make it to every event, oh well. Like that's a part of my self-care. Like I need to do what I want or what I need in that time. Like you said, do what I want when it's needed. And a part of that is learning how to say no and doing certain things. Like me and you talk about that all the time. Learn how to say no to certain things. But you really do have to practice that. And I mean, sometimes it's gonna come off as selfish, but I mean, that's just because it's not used to you saying no or turning down certain things. So once you get in that habit of doing that and setting those boundaries and resetting your boundaries with certain people, they kind of start to fall in line and kind of understand it. And if they don't, they really don't. They're not saying they don't care about you as much, but they're not really thinking about you as a person first versus their own needs. And that's selfish on their part.
Yep. I tell a lot of families, man, in my work, you know, parents, we ask them, they're dealing with a lot, man. You know, for whatever reasons. But I always tell them, like, are you taking care of yourself? And they're like, I can't. Like, you know what I mean? That's selfish. You know, to, you know, go get my nails done as a mom, or, you know, to go out with my friends for a night and just drop my kid off on my mom, you know, their grandma. That's selfish. But then I always tell them, like, you know, just please keep in mind, like, if you aren't okay, then your kids will directly reflect that, right? They're going to, if you are a quick fuse because your temper is so high because you haven't taken care of yourself, your kids are going to see that side of it, and they're going to be the effect of that cause, right? So I always tell them, if you're not okay, your kids won't be. If you take care of yourself, then you'll be a better parent, and your kids will be better off. So I tell them, I don't necessarily call it selfish. What I just tell them is, you know, just be mindful that taking care of you is taking care of them. So, you know, from a parent's perspective, I think that's very, very important for them to consider.
No, definitely. Actually, I've spoken to a lot of parents that actually, let's say out of 7 days a week, right? One day, right? They take their lunch to do something for them. You know, some parents actually feel bad about that, right? It's real crazy. Like when they do something for themselves that don't involve like their kids or whatever, you know, they feel bad, which
Mhm.
is which sucks because you know at some point they have to reset too. You know, so
Right.
that's pretty good that you talked to them about that. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
without question, man. Without question. I definitely try to, man, but you know, that's kind of why it's good that we even having this discussion, man, for whoever watch or listens, man, because some people don't think about themselves when it comes to self-care, man. It's easy, it's an easy term to say, but it's a harder term to do. When life is going at 100 miles per hour, you forget about yourself, man. Everything else
Yeah.
is going on, even me, Jovan. Like Jovan said, we talk about it all the time, man. I tell people with this AC stuff, right? Like, there's sometimes where I could be on the ship and let somebody else steer the ship. There's other times, and I might have to take over that. There's other times in this journey of you know, being the leader, if you will, for AC. There's other times I've literally sent a whole ship on its own journey, and I've stayed on land and seen that ship, nobody steering that ship, and I got to go swim in the ocean, get on the ship, and then steer the ship, and get it back on course. So the thing is, man, when all else fails, and I'm just using AC for example, but think about head coaches in football, think about principals in schools, regardless. As a leader of whatever you're leading, when all else fails, you cannot fail, or you can't fold, you can't give up, right? Um, and then all of that, right? It's hard for me sometimes to take care of myself. It's hard for me to worry about focus on myself first. I told Jovan, like, you know, everybody for whatever reason sometimes can't make it to stuff with AC. And
Yeah.
let's say we gotta be there. I can't make it either. But I try and you tell that to other people, and obviously they cannot leave their job. I'll be having to leave my job, bro, just because of AC, I hate it, man. I be having to tell my principal, like, I gotta go. Like this, I'm gonna just take my lunch right now. Like it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna take my lunch. I might be like 15 minutes late. I gotta run to this meeting. I have to. And that's the thing, man. When nobody else can go, I gotta go. So, later in the day, that stresses me out, right? I'm cool at that moment, but later in the day, it stresses me out. So I have to find a way to take care of myself or I would crash. Truly. I've been in that situation too. Even with AC. So anytime I forget that piece of it, I definitely be a little on edge and with an attitude all the time. So I always got to check myself and make sure I take care of myself. So in the event of that, and let's continue this discussion. How do you guys practice self-care? What are the top 3 things that you would say you do, if not more?
You said something earlier that really much like resonates with me. You said every day is different when it comes to your self-care. Sometimes I need a longer lunch. Sometimes I need a nap on lunch, right? sometimes I need to not go to the gym that day. Sometimes I need to go to the gym that day.
Yeah.
The other day, the way that I reset the other day was I'm at home. I put my headphones on as soon as I get home. I start cooking dinner and I'm listening to music maybe for like 2 hours. No TV, no phone. I'm cooking dinner and I'm listening to music. And man, I had the best sleep that I had in a while, but that's not something that I would do every day. That was just something that I was feeling that day. Let me put on my headphones, let me listen to this playlist, and let me make this, and then let me eat it, and then I'm gonna go to bed. That's how I was for that day. Every day is different though. So you just gotta find out. Majority of the days is going to the gym and like finding some time for myself, but every day is different, like you said.
Yeah, I can second that, man. I play video games some days. Some days I make music. Some days I'll play I just bought a keyboard, man. I love learning new things. So I bought a keyboard piano. Some days it'll be that. Some days it's cooking, like you said. Some weeks I won't cook at all. And I'm a meal prepper, man. But that meal prep is self-care most of the time. But sometimes it's a burden. So some weeks I don't even meal prep at all. And like you said, self-care for me is that fellowship piece, right? I don't lift alone. I live with my cousin Jalen and Kamar. And that's self-care in itself, having that fellowship with them every week, multiple times a week. And we go hoop, all of that is self-care. But, sometimes I'm sore. I had a long day. Daytime ain't aligning with my time. So we trying to make it work, but then it becomes irritating more than anything. I'm like, bro, I ain't lifting today. I'm cool.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
I got a question for you and Jovan then, since we're talking about this. All right, so Jovan, I don't know what your schedule was at Temple, but I seen Bryce's schedule during college, during football. Talking about waking up, 4:30, practice, then you in study tables, and at the same time you got all your other classes. Then you got football practice right after that. You're not getting back to like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, still with homework. What did you do? What did you do then? Like, did you do anything, or did you just push it out?
Let me give you a Jovan, I'll let you answer too, but let me give you a hot topic or a hot take is the word. And that college life is easy, man. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Everything's handed to you. The schedule's handed to you. You don't have to make the schedule. You got the schedule. It just is what it is. If you don't have class, there might be one day you got 3 classes, but then the next day you only got 1 class and you chilling all day. You wake up so early, all your football stuff is done by 12. So then from 12 until bedtime, all you're doing is homework or class. That's really not that bad. Like, man, that college life, man, it teaches you a lot of lessons, right? It's needed for a young adult. It teaches you a lot of lessons, but I would say that working a 9 to 5 is easier. But what we talked about with Luther a couple of episodes ago is not easier, which is what Jovan and I do, which is what you do a little bit, DeVorce. You probably didn't watch it, but from 5 to 9 in the morning, that determines your success, just like from 5 to 9 p.m. determines your success. 9 to 5, that's what you are. That's what you will be for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? But if you want to make a change and make a difference and go up in the ranks for you, or if I want to make a little bit more money for myself and get more promotions in the education backfield or background, what I do from 5 to 9 a.m. and from 5 to 9 p.m. is more important. And as a college athlete, I don't know if I attack that the way that everybody else or that most should. I think I attacked it the way everybody else does, which is you do your extra work, right? You're done probably by 2:00, right? So I did all this football stuff. And then from 12 to 2, I did extra work. Like I was the first one in, the last one out. Now I'm just watching film while I play the game. Literally. Like I'm at home, especially senior year. All my classes online. I took the easiest classes in the whole school. I'm on the game. I'm living my best life, rolling out, stretching, eating, right? And then the food was free, mind you. So I think to answer your question shortly, man, I think to go back to what I said, I really honestly think it was easy, bro, because everything was handed out to us. We got text 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before our meetings.
It was impossible to be late.
It's impossible. Like, bro, all right, y'all.
You had to
So
just
done,
not care.
We done.
to be
We
late.
do practice. Coach Howlett, our O-line coach, he always be like, "Can we meet at 4:00 so we don't got to come in early tomorrow? Can we meet at 4 p.m. and anybody got class? Everybody be free." And we could get a text about it like 30 minutes before. Like, reminder, we got a meeting in 30 minutes. You go, man, and you just show up, and then he like, "All right, y'all have a good night." And then you got $15 to spend at Chipotle, Kira, hibachi, bro, whatever you want. So, man, we had it made. And you don't realize it until you try and achieve higher things. Like I said, if I went from college football to just being a school counselor, man, I'd be like, y'all don't understand how hard college football was. But doing the things that I'm doing, putting in the extra hours that I'm putting in for whatever it is, coaching, AC, whatever it is. I even do Akron after school, which is after school enrichment with my elementary students. I'm doing everything I can to set myself up. I'm in freaking grad school. I'm getting my principal license. All of that, man, I'll go back to college football all day. Man, put me in that lifestyle and I literally would maximize every hour in my day, unlike most.
Yeah, I'll say outside of the workouts, the actual being a college student athlete was like it's cake. Like as far as like I wouldn't say cake. As far as like the journey of it all, like it's really easy. Like it's the beauty of it is it installed a lot of discipline and time management. I had none of it coming into college. I was always late to school, like whatever. Had discipline when it comes to work ethic, like as far as working out and stuff like that. But as far as like I started to build on habits that I started to establish being around a group of friends that I had, like y'all in high school, academically into college. So we had, of course, all the tutors you needed for every class. You had all the academic mentors. You had everything laid out. Everything was on the schedule on your phone. You couldn't be late to nothing. It really taught you everything. And I think the most beautiful part of it was you always got to see your peers elevate to the NFL or something. So like you always seen the process that needed to be taken to go into the next journey of your life, whether it's going to grad school, whatever. And then they network and put people in front of you. It's not like you have to go out and go see these people. It's literally like they're bringing all the people that want to hire you in one place. They don't do that no more. Like they're not, when you're adult, they don't bring, there's not people just saying like, hey, I'm looking for 26, 27-year-olds to hire real quick. What's up? And then just go mingle. That's just not how it works in the real world. And to where you basically are, it's the closest thing basically to sales, where you're actually having production that shows why you qualify for the next thing. And it's on paper like we want this kid. And that's the NFL or another journey in life, like your grad school, and then putting you in place to get that internship or whatnot. So they're really putting you in situations to succeed. It's almost like you can't fail if you follow the plan to a T.
Yeah.
They literally put it out for you, bro.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people really realize that once you have, and then like he talked about the food and everything you have, that you don't got to think about nothing. You don't got to pay for. You don't got to think about your bills because they give you money for that. You don't got to think about your rent because they give you money for that. Travel costs, they'll even take care of some of that. Now with NIL stuff, they giving you cars and stuff. Like there's nothing that you have to think about as far as like when you actually leave college football and college sports, the real world, when it hits you, bro, it's gonna hit you. And it's gonna be so wrong for a lot of these guys because they never had to think about anything. Like just
And that's
even
the
like
thing, Joe.
critical thinking and just like day to day and like common sense. It's just lost.
It's already
For
done
real.
for you. And I don't know
Everything's
if you
done.
had
It's
anybody on
automated.
staff. I don't know if you had anybody on staff like we did, man. He started off as a GA and all of this and stuff. He's now the running backs coach at Toledo. Coach Cole always said, man, don't get pimped. Don't get pimped. Everybody would be laughing. He'd be like, I'm dead serious.
I'll be telling my kids that too.
He'd be like, this college football is the greatest opportunity to set yourself up. We teaching you everything. Bro, DeForest, staff meetings, right? That you'd have. You have, I know you have some on Fridays or whatever. Imagine like every staff meeting is nothing but motivation. Every staff meeting is nothing but literally what's the word? What's the word? Process driven. And then you just look at the result and it's all driven through motivation. You might even see a motivational quote. That's all football is. He'll play a quote and he'll be like, it just completely translated. So not only football, but life. You literally are getting, for me, I got 7 years, but you're getting 4 years of just motivation. You're getting 4 years of structure. You're getting 4 years of this is what the process looks like. You literally know if you're going to win or lose the game off your preparation. And when you lose, it's always the same question, even in high school, every time. Who beat who? Did Temple beat Toledo or did Toledo beat Toledo? Everybody going to say Toledo beat Toledo. It's the same in life, man. Like who beat who? Did your boss, was your boss hating on you or did you not prepare right and that's why you got fired? I beat myself, right? I did it to myself. I didn't prepare. Who beat who? Did what's his name? What's his name? Chester Cheeto? Did he beat you? Or did you choose to eat them chips and you lost? That's why you so big, right? Man, everything can be translated. And I think that don't get pimped attitude is in everything. You know, even with, I've translated everything to AC because that's kind of my focus now. It's like with our kids, man, we doing the same thing. Low key, like now that we talk about it, we low key doing the same thing. We're talking about the things, but then we're putting it in front of them, right? So they can't mess up. But the sad truth is some of them will mess this up because what's going to happen is they're going to get pimped. They're going to be having too much fun, focused on the wrong things, focus on the fact that their friends are in AC, and they're not really going to take what's actually in front of them and utilize it for their advantage. Some people utilizing it right now. Zaya, right? Rochelle. The list goes on. We got a couple, man. But then there's some that's just, they literally on their phone the whole meeting. That's on you. All right. Hey, we keep telling y'all to don't get pimped. If you want to get pimped, you're going to get pimped. It's just what it is. Like some people understand it, some people don't. So you got a great opportunity in front of you. You need to take it. And that's what we try and instill in them kids. But now that you mention it, now that we're having this conversation, I think it's rooted from my football experience. So, Jovan, what do you do for self-care, bro?
Yeah, it fluctuates. I think a lot of it. I'm also like I'm not really an introvert, but I do love to be in like in quiet spaces, and just play some low music and just chill, process, maybe write some goals or something new. Maybe it's like going on Blinkist and listen to like a quick summary of a book and be like, oh, maybe I want to read this and like on Audible or whatever. And, like listen, because I like to listen more than I like to actually read it because like I just never go back to it more times than not. Like I'll read like maybe the first 4 chapters and then I'll be forgetting about it and never go back. So like it might be that, but really like the best thing for me is lifting. But then the day gets so long and then you get exhausted from the day mentally and you don't lift earlier, then you get tired and you don't feel like really going as hard in the gym, you know, in the afternoon, and then you make excuses in your head why you shouldn't go or why you can't go or couldn't go. And so that's been a battle for me recently. It's just kind of just fighting that like non-negotiable still that I'm trying to establish for myself. Like, you know, you got to get at least 30 minutes in, whether it's jogging, running, or whatever it's going to be. So trying to build those habits back up. Whether it's playing basketball, I can't do no back-to-backs. Playing basketball, whatever it is, or playing a game, but it's all different for me. It's really literally whatever I'm told to do at that moment, and I pray a lot more than I have in the past. Been getting myself more connected spiritually. So that's probably my go-to. That prayer and lifting have been by far my number one, number two.
Period, man. Period, man. What you mean you can't do back-to-back stuff? Like
my knees, bro. The floor at the IM building. So we work like the intramural building. It'd be slippery, and bro, I went one time and the dude didn't even move, and my leg was still here, and my rest of my body went. I said, "Nah, bro." I almost fell and everything. I said, "Bro, this is crazy. I need to buy some new shoes. I ain't had no traction. I was moving my feet, bro.
What was I gonna say?
You need to get some new shoes, huh?
I need to get some new shoes.
I got some hoop shoes for you. I'll give you 2 for 1.
$2 for $1?
No. 2 pairs. 2 pairs for 1 pair of my choice.
Hey, that's actually
we're gonna still work that. We're gonna work that out.
See, Jovan be playing, man.
We still gonna
that's
work that
funny
out.
though.
Nah,
Hey,
the gratitudes come out though. I got you. I'm gonna hook you up, bro.
The last time I visited home, Bryce was trying to hoop. I was like, nah, I ain't got no shoes because I got some for you.
I know he'd be on that though. He'd be like, I got some in my trunk.
I was like, man, you don't got my size. He said, I got 13 right here. I was like, I canceled all the excuses.
You know what's funny? I hope Ryan sees this. I do the same thing for Ryan Hall, man. He don't be going for none of that. Ryan ain't gonna find some excuse, bro. Ryan don't care, bro. Ryan the type. I don't got no shoes. Oh, I got something for you, bro. I'm gonna find some. He'd be like, actually. Well, I mean, the thing is, bro, I actually like my right foot need a 14. my left foot need a 12. I'd be like, all right, bro, we could probably work something out. What time you gonna be ready, bro? I can get you a 14 and a 12. And then he won't text me back. And then the next day, my bad, Brian.
My bad. Okay, I was icing my foot.
Yeah, I had to ice my foot. I literally, man, my foot literally cracked into 3 pieces, bro. I don't know how. It's back good, but somehow, some way. That's how Ryan is, bro. He funny, man.
Oh, man.
But
that's hilarious.
But yeah, man, I personally play basketball as a self-care and I enjoy it. I love it. I play 3 times a week, each at least an hour of just nonstop runs. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Yeah. My endurance is so high right now. Like dudes be way skinnier than me, way more looking fit than me, and they be so tired. I nonstop run when I hoop. And I just be cool. I don't know why, bro. I don't know. My wind is just up.
Basketball running is different though.
Bro, I'll be up, but then let me go run a mile. I'm gonna be exhausted. That's the thing. But and in terms of the court, bro, I could run all day and never get tired. Mind you, after it hits me, like I get home, bro. Oh my gosh, bro, all the acid in my leg. I'm like, bro. But when I'm going, it don't affect me. I don't know why, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing because I get I'll be burning over 2,000 calories just hooping. And I'll really be doing that. Like I'll hoop for 3 hours straight and I won't get off the court. Even when I lose, I finesse my way back on the court. Like I go straight to the dude that got to pick up 3. I'll be like, how many you need, bro? I already know. He be like, I need 2. I'll be like, all right, me and him, we good. Dudes be mad because he's supposed to be able to just pick. I'll be like, bro, me and him gonna play. We got you, bro. That's your team.
We good.
I don't get off the court. I don't get off the court. Because a lot of it be, when I ask that, I'd be like, who you going to pick up? They'd be like, shoo. As soon as they do that, I just cut him off. As soon as they be like,
I got you.
Shoo, bro. Hey, bro, don't even worry about it, bro. Me and him, we going to go. So I don't get off the court, man, and it'd be fun. I lose a lot. I attribute it to me. But nonetheless, it's still fun. What's some challenges, man? Let's close with this, man. What's some challenges that you guys kind of face when you're trying to deal with self-care, right? What are some obstacles? And then also, if you want to answer both questions, how do you stay motivated to do self-care? It's kind of the same question, just worded a little different. I can start. For me, like I said, self-care challenges is like I'll forget about myself. Like I'll be so invested in something that I think about self-care and then it just gets thrown into the back. And I'm like, man, not today. Like I can't take care of myself today. And I accept that. But, most of the time it's a non-negotiable. Like this isn't good. And like I said, we being more transparent this year, I'll even jeopardize my marriage sometimes for self-care. And I know that sounds crazy. So let me translate it. Like sometimes Janelle, like I haven't even talked to Janelle and I don't want to watch a movie. Like I'm not trying to do that. So I'll sit there and talk to Janelle for 15 minutes. And then I'm like, all right, I'm about to get on the game. Cause that's what I need right now. That's what I want. And I need to do what I want when it's needed. Right. And I want to get on the game. I know it's 9. I know I've been out all day. I really need to do this for myself. And she be mad. But then, after I'm done with the game, I'll talk to her. But, that's my big challenge is putting everybody in front of me, after that long day. I know Janelle's had a long day too. So I try and do both. Sometimes it's not enough for her. And then I'll put her first, but then I'll low-key be salty. Like, I'm just going to be real with y'all. Like, then I'll be like, dang, bro, I really got to watch Legally Blonde right now. Like, bro, I have not taken care of myself. I sit here. Like, all day I've been focused on everybody else. And now I got to do, Legally Blonde. But, it's going to be even worse whenever kids come. It's going to be worse, as we mature, as we get older. So having that time, man, where you could really prioritize you. Sometimes if it can't be at night when, the kids is running around and the wife needs you, sometimes you might have to wake up early to take care of yourself, right? But then sleep is self-care too. So it's like, how do we do it, man? That's the challenge. Sometimes I wish we had 26 hours in a 24-hour day, but we don't. So I think that's my big challenge is time. Now that I can really hash my thoughts out, time is my biggest challenge and my biggest obstacle. I got like 4 jobs. Honestly, I got 1 main job and 3 side jobs. And when all of that is over, how do I take care of myself when I have a wife that has her needs, which is definitely respectable because sometimes she come home late and I don't want to play the game. My self-care is I want to watch a movie with her. She ain't trying to do that. She's like, bro, I'm not feeling that, bro. I am not feeling that. So how do you balance that is my challenge. I would say 8 times out of 10, I do a good job with it. 2 times, no. What about y'all? What's y'all challenges, man?
I mean, you kind of said it. Time, like the time, like when I talk about like lifting and finding time to do stuff. Like I love development, like reading and learning about new things. But then like I'd be so exhausted, like I just be wanting to play the game, be left alone, and just open up a YouTube and learn about something. And that's all I'm doing. But I didn't get to lift. So it's like when I don't lift, I get moody. Like I get like real like irritable, like bro, like you know what I mean? It could be the littlest things, and I'm like, I gotta check myself to be like, don't respond like that. Even if it's something not even like rude or something that would come off as like very bad to them, I know it's wrong for me. And so I gotta be like, okay, let me reassess myself real quick and figure out how I'm gonna reset now after not lifting or whatever. And then how I'm gonna attack it tomorrow so it don't happen. So really it's just approaching that and time management, getting back to the stuff that we learned like in college as far as like trying to manage it. And like it hasn't been hard since leaving college, like being a college athlete as far as time management, but it's so much that happens in a day. Mm-hmm. And so many people's emotions that we manage, like with different kids and different conversations that we gotta navigate. It does take a lot of energy out, and trying to actually reassess yourself and be like, all right, now what did Joe need? Like now you're your own counselor and having to figure that out. So definitely trying to get more in tune with that and time management. But yeah, that's really all it is. That's really all it is, because you usually get overwhelmed when everything's happened so quickly and you're on the highway, you've never been there before.
Yep. Facts.
For me, I just think sometimes I stack my plate up too much. I guess you can still attribute it to time, but for me, I feel like sometimes I run 100 miles per hour all day, every day, and I'll do that for maybe weeks or months on end, and I don't notice I need a self-care day until it slaps me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm getting better at that, but like being in the military, sometimes I don't have the luxury of doing certain things, right? The things that I stack on my plate, is to accomplish a mission that we have. You know, as cliche as it may sound, you know, like if I don't do what I need to do for this mission, you know, that affects America, you know? So sometimes I think of it like that, like, okay, all right, well, I may not be able to get 8 hours of sleep, but I can't today because this needs to happen like right now, you know, for this mission to happen. So sometimes I run out at 100 miles per hour, and I'm getting better at, you know, learning how to, you know, regulate myself, because I'll go for months on end, and then one day it's like I can't today, you know. What can I do? I can't. I feel like I can't do nothing today. So one thing that has helped me notice that is that as you guys know, like as I progress in rank or as I get older, we have a younger generation looking up towards us. There was one day where I hit the wall, maybe a couple months ago, and I got a text message. This is when I made rank, right? So we are, I made rank what, like it was like a month ago, and I had and I had felt like at the same time I had hit the wall. I had one of my guys that I work with, you know, he's 19, he's in the military, and he was back in Bahrain with me. He texted me, he was like, hey, like, he was like, congratulations. He was like, just so you know, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you do this and do that, I try to incorporate that into my everyday life. I look up to you. Thank you for being an inspiration for me. Like, he texted that to me. Like, I sometimes I have to go back and read it. I'm like, that's crazy. I really have people that see me like as a mentor or like somebody that they look up to.
Keep talking.
And I remember looking up to people when I was his age, thinking how I want to be like that to somebody. And now we're at that age, you know? And when I go back and when we talk about, like I said earlier in the beginning, we pouring into other people. I have sometimes I have to step back and realize, okay, I need to take this time so I can recalibrate, so that I can pour into these junior sailors that are looking up to me. Because at some point you don't realize that there are people looking up to you, and recalibrating, that is huge. And I need to get better at the self-care. And sometimes it's hard. Like y'all say, sometimes it's hard, but I'm still learning, and every day is trying to find something else to get a little bit better, you know?
Yeah, man. You hit it on the head, man. You talking about mentorship and all of that. That's what we phasing into, man. And I think that piece in itself, man, is kind of healing to see that you making an impact on others. And it's healing to see that somebody else cares about them, right? When that person that texts you, they obviously see that you care about them in some way, shape, or form, that you've made an impact on them. So that's healing for them to know that they got somebody they can confide in, they can look up to.
It's a different feeling though when
I think mentorship is just a special thing.
It is. We can say all we want. I'm mentoring this person. I'm mentoring that person. I'm mentoring 30 people. But when somebody come up to you and say that and accept you as your mentor, man, that's a crazy feeling.
Like, it's like the Avatar movie, the blue people, when the animals finally accept you, it's like, all right, we really got a bond now. Like, yeah. I've been pursuing you, but now it's mutual, right? And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's up, man. Let's close this episode, man. I hope that somebody at least took one thing about self-care. It's still a process for all of us, as you can see. So what's y'all a little 15-second takeaway if you got anything?
Yeah, mine is just being okay with being selfish at times, and knowing that self-care is ultimately putting yourself first, and making sure that people around you understand that you're doing it to take care of yourself and for your own mental health, versus just saying like, nah, I don't want to spend time with you or whatever that might be, just because you want to be a better person for them moving forward and maybe the next hour, versus what you can provide to them in that moment.
But what about you, Deanna? What's your 15-second takeaway?
Really, the biggest thing for me is one of my favorite quotes is, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So taking care of ourselves is so important. And if you're going to pour into anyone else, and taking care of yourself 100% is just as important as helping someone else out as much as you can. So that's pretty much what I'd say for that.
Love that quote too.
My little takeaway: don't take me as a doctor. Don't take me as none of that. All right, this is Bryce Harris just talking to you. So take it as you want. But my 15-second takeaway is your self-care shouldn't be an extension of your work. Self-care shouldn't be, I'm finally in bed. Let me pop open my laptop and work on some grants. That's not self-care, right? You're still working. Self-care should be something that separates you from all other, needs, right? Like I said, I'm big on doing what you want when it's needed. And I think self-care should take away from all of that other stuff. Whether it's, like I said, working out, whether it's listening to music, watching a movie, playing video games, cooking for fun, right? Whatever it is, it should not be related to work at all. And I think that'll help a lot of people with their burnout more than anything. So that's my takeaway. But nonetheless, we appreciate y'all. It's been another beautiful episode. We got some new podcast gear, so y'all might start seeing some more in-person episodes. I don't know when, I don't know how, but we do have that equipment now. So that's exciting for sure. So just stay tuned. Keep climbing with us. We'll be here in 2 weeks. We'll see y'all later.
Yeah, I'm working from coast to coast. Stay looking for me like my name was Ghost. If you want presents, you better have cookies, cause I cannot rock with toast. All these kids want is PS5s, man, they doing the most. My plug been doubling, tripling up. The price, to be honest, is looking real slow. Honestly, I thought that it was a joke. I got them bricks, keep it on the low. Hide it real quick, cause it ain't no snow. Picking up dashes and blitzes just like